Welcome to Toxic Ships Podcast, where my goal is to help you tap in and reveal the better self within. So, get settled and welcome to something like group therapy. Good evening, and thank you so much for deciding to drop in and share your energy with me. I'm your host, Tiffany R. Today's topic: childhood trauma and memory loss. Speaking of memory loss, I've subconsciously blocked out at least 95% of my childhood, which I will try accessing soon with the assistance of a hypnosis. You won't want to miss that, so stick around. Now, the other 5% that I do remember, well, we're going to talk all about it, starting from the beginning. But first, allow me to introduce myself. My given name is Tiffany Randall, born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, the oldest of 6 siblings. My first memory, ironically, is from age 2. This was confirmed by my mother. I was awakened from the sound of people talking. I can remember having to balance myself as the motion from the waterbed tossed my small body. When I finally made it out of the bed, I walked into a large, dark, empty room with dark wooden floors. Looking back, it could have possibly been an apartment on the south side of St. Louis. Following the light straight ahead led me into the kitchen where my mom, stepfather, and aunt sat in a circle. My aunt's foot propped on my stepfather's leg as he injected whatever filled that syringe into her foot. My mom turned hastily towards me, and my next childhood memory wouldn't be until age 5. This would also be my first memory of any sexual assault by my stepfather, also being the first memory of getting penetrated by a man. It was 1988 and we were living in Cabiny Courts Apartments, St. Louis, Missouri. I'm definitely showing my age with that one. But even at such young age, I can still remember appreciating the beautiful architect of the outside of that building. When you walk into the apartment, directly to the left was a couch, balcony, and bedroom. My memory blocked out the rest of the apartment. That bedroom is where I remember holding onto my stepfather's shoulder for balance as he slipped my panties off. They were white. I can remember still clearly looking at the floor, seeing my feet. I can damn near smell the air. He laid me on the bed and mounted me. Tried to soothe me afterwards as I cried from pain. The couch is where I sat when I told my mother. I don't remember her response, but I can assume she confronted him because later that day I was being dangled over that balcony from what I believe to be the second floor. I can't clearly remember it. He had me by either an ankle or a wrist, but it was enough to shut me the fuck up for 2 years. My next memory would also be the next and last time I tell my mom of these assaults. I was 7 years old and we were living in an apartment, again what seems like South St. Louis going by the layout of the apartment. We stayed on the second floor, so looking up from the bottom at such young age, it seems like there were 100 stairs. When you reached the top, to the right was the living room and a master bedroom. Down the hall to the left was the bathroom where I've obtained the current calluses on my hands from scrubbing and wringing out my stepfather's jeans. To the right was the children's bedroom. One night, his daughter and niece stayed over, and his weak ass snuck into our room anyway. He tried his niece first, but she was a bit older than I and stood up for herself. He then came and crawled into our bed, hardly any space in a small twin-size bed. He squeezed in on the end, falling asleep with his arms around me, too drunk to do more than the fondling that I'd have already received that night. We were all wakened back up by a loud thud. His big goofy ass had fallen out the bed and hit the floor. And finally, it got my mom's attention. I can remember her yelling loudly, "I got all these ass and titties, and you want to go mess with a little girl?" And that was the last of that incident. It was never brought up again, so my next childhood memory wouldn't actually come until 5th grade. And we all know middle school is already pretty brutal, so just imagine going to school reeking of piss and being picked on because you were too afraid to get up in the middle of the night alone. Now imagine getting beat for pissing yourself by the very individual you were trying to avoid. This pretty much went on from 5th grade up until 9th grade when my mom and him split. Oh, but not due to my pain, due to him cheating with another woman. But there was this one other time that I did tell my mother about this security guard at the rec center coming on to me. He would be at least 1,000 fucking years old today, so he was much an older man at that time. Anyway, when I told her that he asked if I had dreamt of him, she looked me square in my eyes with a frown and asked, why would I wear biking shorts out the house? And just like that, she ended that conversation. Just as I will have to end this one. Well, folks, that is all of our time. I am grateful to all that tuned in today. I do pray that you were able to find an answer or even a glimmer of hope. Until next time, make it a great day. The choice is literally yours.